What's up, YouTube? This is your friend the Analyst. Now, today I want to do a little review on a great game that I'm sure everyone will love. This game is called Death Road to Canada. I invite anyone who's willing to try something new out to play this game. Of course, it's already been out in the market for a while now, and a lot of people have been interested in getting this game because it's actually a lot of fun. You'd actually be very, very surprised with the replayability this game has. Not to mention, one of the biggest factors, at least one of the biggest drawings I had, the budget. In a lot of places, you'll be able to get it for less than $10, so it's easy to pick up. It's not resource heavy, so you don't really have to have like the GTX 1080 to be able to run it. It's extremely light, and it's easy to get used to it. This game is kind of like the punishingly unfair type of game, but that you like. I'm saying this mostly because it's built in such a way that it's constantly like reading your progression. So, as an example, sometimes you might have a great run, you have a lot of ammo, a lot of resources, and then all of a sudden a lot of accidents start to happen and you lose everything and even your characters. And during the trajectory, you find new characters. And this is one of the biggest drop points. The fact that it's randomized in such a way that it never really gets boring. In other words, two experiences will never be the same. At one moment, you could have a great amount of really good characters that are really useful. And after a raid, they all die. And at another moment, you will get some really horrible characters that you think that they're useless, and you end up finishing the game with them. It's kind of weird how the system actually works. I'm not sure how it really works right there. I've had some really great runs, and I've also had some disastrous ones. This game doesn't require you to play it a lot. You could play the whole main campaign, and you could finish it in less than 2 hours, which is a great advantage for anyone who's on the run. You could pick it up. It doesn't really require that much story into it. It's one of those basic ones. The whole country's been overrun by zombies, but it's all the events that happen during this time, which makes it so unique. All of a sudden, one of the characters might get really angry, and they'll just snap at each other, and you end up with just one character. Other times, you only have one character, and all of a sudden, 3-4 people want to join you. And other times, you will find unique characters, and it even says so on the game, special characters. And these cases, they're very useful under certain circumstances, because keep this in mind, there's no such thing as an OP character in this game. Like I said, the tank, really strong, really useful, pick up a lot of things. So when you run out of weapons, because they do tend to break, you could pick up the furniture and throw it at each other, and that's just as effective. You'll also find some really light characters who run really, really fast, which are very useful, especially when the raids or anything, because they're a lot more easier to run around with. And you'll also find a little bit more balanced characters. A really great fact about this game also is how the characters are randomized. Of course, you could always create your own characters, which is a really fun thing. You've seen a lot of YouTubers put a lot of their friends over, and it's a really fun experience. But also the computer generates a certain amount of unique characters in the game who have their own traits. They might be great mechanics, but they have horrible characters, and they constantly fight with your characters, which leads to a lot of baits. And then you have some really, really fun characters who are really outgoing and everything, but guess what? They're worthless. Sometimes the computer will also ask you to do certain events, like let's say the car breaks down, and your main character might be a master mechanic, but guess what? The computer doesn't tell you to get that person. It gives you an option between the other guys for some reason, and if they're not good with mechanics, well, you're toast right there. You have to start scavenging during the different runs, and you have to start deciding like where you want to go. Keep in mind that those decisions will determine just how easy or how difficult the rest of the run will be. Now, having said that, You have to keep in mind that, like I said, this game is really random. So all of a sudden you might be able to find like a hidden bunker and you'll get 10 weapons. You don't even know what to do with everything you get, from ammo, from food, fuel, and weapons, which is a great case. And sometimes you'll go to really small places which are jam packed with zombies. It'll give you the option of either try to survive um, or just give up. And it's practically already telling you that you have no hopes of surviving, which is kind of sad up to a certain point. But well, that's how this game goes, and that's what makes it so much fun. If you underestimate the game, it will have you. But if you're cautious and sometimes adventurous, it even rewards you on that. Like I said, sometimes it gives you the option to check between buildings. And if you're adventurous, risky, high risk, high reward, you might get some really good things. Other characters, other features, and sometimes you won't get anything. That's just how much of a big troll the AI is in this game. For no reason, it will give you the smoothest run, and all of a sudden, just a couple of days before you finish it, it will give you a horrible, horrible raid that gives you almost zero possibilities to survive. Um, and other times, you'll have really bad characters that you didn't even choose, but the computer chose for you. And for some reason, even though you think, these guys aren't going to be able to make it, my good characters, they all died, and these bad characters, they're not going to help me. All of a sudden, those guys are the best ones. So keep this in mind. Just have fun with it. That's the whole point of it. It has a lot of modes on, so once you finish like basic mode, it has like a shorter way. It has one with all just created characters, just special characters, and it has even more higher difficulty characters. So it has a lot, so you could keep on coming back. Which for me, a game should always be focused on that. Yes, it's true to have a good story is a very basic thing nowadays in video games, but also the fact that you want to continue playing. You could think of Skyrim, Fallout 4, The Witcher. These have really great stories that could take you 60 plus hours to finish. And additionally, it has so much additional content that you could keep on playing hundreds of hours. I've known people who actually have hundreds of hours registered playing those games. Not to mention the community and all that keeps on putting new mods that just makes it even better. Now, going back to the game, a really great feature that it has also is the co-op mode, which is like a throwback to the old way, to the old NES, SNES, where both characters are at the same screen. This is a great way to play and enjoy with friends. It would have been a lot more fun if it gave you the option to play with 4 characters at the same time, and either with on the internet and everything. It would have been a lot more better. But for the price it has and everything it features, it's a great game. So if you ever think about what type of game you'd like to have and you only have a couple of minutes, you should go ahead and try this one. And for completionists, there's also a lot to dig in there. So that's it for me. Hope you guys found this video fun. Have a good one. Happy hunting.